Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we're going to learn how to automate onboarding checklist with Google Forms and Google Chat. So here my objective is that I'm collecting onboarding checklist documents from all of my new hired employees with the help of form submission. And I have created a form with the help of Google Forms. So here my objective is that whenever a form submission is going to be done by any of my new hired employees with the help of Google Forms for all the documents that are required, automatically when all the documents are going to be submitted, then only a message should be forwarded in the space that we have created in our Google Chat account. For that, what we are going to do is we are going to create an automation between Google Forms and Google Chat with the help of Pabbly Connect. Pabbly Connect runs on two concepts, that is trigger and action. In this process, my trigger application is going to be Google Forms and my action application is going to be Google Chat. If you want to learn how to do this automation, then let me take you all to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to automate onboarding checklist with Google Forms and Google Chats. So here my objective is that I have created a form for my onboarding checklist with the help of Google Form. And I want that whenever any of my new hired employees is going to upload the files with the help of this form right over here, automatically a message should be forwarded on our Google Chat for the onboarding checklist document. For that, what we're going to do is we are going to create an automation between Google Forms and Google Chats with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign in to my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly Apps window in front of you, in which you can see the 5 applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on Access Now. Then on a new tab, Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, we have to click on this top right corner button right over here that says Create Workflow. After that, you can see after clicking on Create Workflow, a dialog box is going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a workflow name. So I'm going to give a name to my workflow as Automate Onboarding Checklists with Google Forms and Google Chat. After giving a name to our workflow, it is asking for us to select a folder. On the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, we have to click on this drop down arrow right over here. So these are the folders that I've created in a Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select Google Forms Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After that, we're going to click on Create in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Automate Onboarding Checklist with Google Forms and Google Chats, and there are two windows in front of you. One says Trigger, another says Action. Trigger and Action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two steps. Over here, Trigger says when this happens and Action says do this. That means our action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. Firstly, what we're going to do is we're going to set up our trigger step. For that, we click on this arrow right over here, and for the trigger application right over here, we're going to select it as Google Forms. So I'm going to select my trigger application as Google Forms, and for the trigger event, we're going to select it as New Response Received. We have selected our trigger application as Google Forms and trigger event as New Response Received because I'm collecting onboarding checklist documents with the help of form submission, and the form I've created is with the help of Google Forms. That is why we selected our trigger application as Google Forms and trigger event as New Response Received. Over here, after selecting the trigger application and the event, you can see Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. With the help of this unique webhook URL, we're going to connect Google Forms with Pabbly Connect. Firstly, I'm going to copy this URL from here, and we're going to follow the steps given here below to connect Google Forms with Pabbly Connect. So how are we going to do that? For that, we have to open the form that I've created. As you can see, this is the form that I've created with the help of Google Forms right over here. How to connect this form with Pabbly Connect? For that, we click on Responses right over here. Then over here, you can see it says Link to Sheets. We're going to click on it. Then a new dialog box is going to appear in front of you, which is asking for us to create a new spreadsheet or select an existing spreadsheet. We are going to select Create a New Spreadsheet because we want to create a new spreadsheet. I'm going to click on Create right over here. So this is the spreadsheet that I've created, as you can see right over here. And this spreadsheet is directly linked with the form that we have created right over here. So that whenever a new form submission is going to be done with the help of this form, automatically all the data of that form submission is going to be transferred under these fields that we have created right over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect this spreadsheet with Pabbly Connect so that whenever a new data is going to be transferred into the spreadsheet, automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of that new data. For that, what we're going to do is for connecting the spreadsheet with Pabbly Connect, we're going to click on extensions right over here. Then we're going to click on add-ons and then on get add-ons. Then a new window is going to appear in front of you, on which on the search bar we have to search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks. So I'm going to select Pabbly Connect Webhooks right over here. We're going to select Pabbly Connect Webhooks right over here. As you can see that I've already installed Pabbly Connect Webhooks. Over here, with the help of this Pabbly Connect Webhook, we are going to connect Google Sheets with Pabbly Connect, and it is very important to first download this webhook from here. So as I've already installed the webhook, I'm going to move forward. We're going to click on extensions again, and over here you can see it says Pabbly Connect Webhooks. We're going to click on it. After that, we're going to select initial setup right over here. Then a new dialog box is going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a webhook URL and a trigger column right over here. So for the webhook URL, we're going to provide the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us, and for the trigger column, it says the trigger column will be a final data column on which if the data is added. So in this spreadsheet that we have created, our trigger column is going to be column K because that is a final data column of the spreadsheet. After selecting a trigger column and providing the webhook URL, we are going to click on submit right over here. As you can see, it says setup configured successfully. So I'm going to click on this close button right over here. And this was the trigger column of this spreadsheet because this is the final data column right over here. So now the steps that I'm going to tell you are very important steps. So please do not forget to follow the steps which I'm going to tell you. Click on extensions, click on Pabbly Connect Webhooks again, and then we're going to click on send on event right over here. As you can see over here, it says working. So if I'm going to click on extensions again and then we're going to select Pabbly Connect Webhooks again, you can see over here tick mark is in front of send on event. We have selected send on event so that whenever a new data is going to be added into the spreadsheet, automatically the data is going to be forwarded to Pabbly Connect. That is why it is very important to click on send on event. So if I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect to the workflow that we have created over here, it says waiting for webhook response. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a test submission and we're going to check whether Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of the new form submission or not. For that, I'm going to open my form that I've created. This is a form that I've created, and to do a test submission, for that we have to click on the send button right over here, and from these three options we're going to click on this link button right over here. We're going to copy this link from here and then we're going to open the link in a new tab right over here. So this is the form that I've created right over here. We're going to fill in all the details and then we're going to do a test form submission. For the name, I'm going to write it as dummy user 123. For the email, I'm going to write it as dummyyuser123@pabblytunes.com. For the phone number, I'm going to write in a dummy mobile number. Then it is asking for what is the job title. Over here, I'm going to write it as Associate Content Creator as the job title right over here. Then it is asking for the documents. It is asking for the Aadhaar card, PAN card and the driving license. And over here, it is asking for other documents for the education qualifications. So firstly, we're going to provide all these documents. For the Aadhaar card, I'm going to upload a document right over here. I'm going to click on add file. And from upload, I'm going to click on browse right over here. So these are all of my documents from which I'm going to select Aadhaar card and then I'm going to open the Aadhaar card right over here. As you can see that over here a file is uploaded. Now in the same way, I'm going to upload all the files that this form is asking for. I'm going to upload all the documents. So as you can see that I've uploaded all the documents that this form was asking for. After filling all the details, we're going to click on submit to submit the form. As you can see over here, the form submission is done successfully. So now I'm going to open my Pabbly Connect account in the workflow that we have created and we're going to check whether Pabbly Connect has captured the response of the form submission that we have done or not. For that, I'm going to open the workflow that we have created. I'm going to scroll down and yes, as you can see right over here, a response is captured in our Pabbly Connect account, and now we're going to tally the response. For the name, it says dummyyuser123. For the email, as dummyyuser123@pabblytunes.com. It has the URL for the driving license. It has the URL of the file for the Aadhaar card right over here. It has the URL for the high school mark sheet of 12th standard, standard school mark sheet of 10th standard, phone number, PAN card, name, graduation degree, and all the other details. So this means that we successfully created a connection between Google Forms and Pabbly Connect, and a trigger setup is done. After completing setting up our trigger step, we need to set up our action step. For the action application right over here, I'm going to take it as filter by Pabbly. It is an amazing feature by Pabbly, that is filter by Pabbly right over here. And for the action event, we're going to select it as filter values, because with the help of this tool right over here, we're going to filter the values that we require. After that, we're going to click on connect right over here. How filter works in Pabbly? Over here, first we have to select the label on which we have to add the filter. Then we have to select the filter type and the value right over here. The value depends on the filter type that we are going to select. I want that whenever the form submission is going to be done with the help of Google Forms, and if all the documents are submitted by the employee with the help of form submission, then only a message should be forwarded on the space that we have created in our Google chat. For that, we have added a filter right over here. Firstly, we're going to select the label. For the label right over here, we're going to select the label from the previous step right over here, and for the label I'm going to select it as Aadhaar card right over here, so that whenever an Aadhaar card is going to be submitted, automatically a message should be forwarded on our Google chat with all the other documents. For the filter type, we're going to select it as is not empty. That means whenever this field is not empty, then only this workflow should continue. Then we're going to add another AND condition right over here. AND condition means all the conditions that we're going to apply in this filter right over here should be successful, then only this workflow is going to work. If the filter right over here is not successful and the status is not true, that means this workflow is not going to work. Next over here, after Aadhaar card, I'm going to enter the data for the PAN card right over here, so that whenever a PAN card is going to be submitted by any of my new hired employees, then only this workflow is going to continue. So I'm going to select my filter type as is not empty. And similarly, I'm going to add all the documents that we're going to receive with the help of form submission. So I'm going to add in all the documents. So as you can see that I've applied all the filters right over here for the Aadhaar card as it's not empty, and all the other details till graduation degree is not empty. So this means that whenever all these fields are going to be filled or the documents are going to be uploaded, then only this automation workflow is going to continue. After setting up all the filters, we're going to click on save and send test request. And over here you can see the response for the message. It says condition is true. The condition that we have applied for the response that we have received right over here is true. So after setting up this filter right over here, we want that as soon as all the documents are going to be submitted and the filter is successful right over here, automatically a message should be forwarded on our space that we have created in our Google Chat account. For that, we're going to add another action step by clicking on this plus button right over here. And for the action application, we're going to select it as Google Chat. So I'm going to select my action application as Google Chat. And for the action event, we're going to select it as Create Message. After selecting our action application and the event, we're going to click on Connect right over here. After clicking on Connect over here, you can see it is asking for the chat webhook URL. How are we going to receive the chat webhook URL? For that, you have to click on Learn More right over here. Then on a new tab, you will be forwarded towards this page. If you're going to scroll down over here, you can see the steps are given here below to receive the chat webhook URL. How are we going to receive that? Firstly, you have to follow all the steps right over here. For that, we open the space that we have created in our Google Chat account. As you can see, this is the space that I've created right over here. And I want that whenever a form submission is done and all the onboarding checklist documents are received of our new hired employee, automatically a message should be forwarded on this space that we have created. And with the help of this space, we are going to receive the chat webhook URL. How are we going to do that? For that, you have to click on this arrow right over here. From all these options, we are going to select apps and integrations. After selecting apps and integrations, over here it says webhooks. We're going to click on add webhooks right over here. It is asking for a webhook name. So for the name of my webhook, I'm going to give it as test connection. So this is the webhook name that I want to give. And for the avatar URL, if I'm going to take you back to the forum that was open, over here it says for avatar URL, enter the URL right over here. So I'm going to copy this URL from here and I'm going to paste the URL right over here. After that, I'm going to click on save right over here. As you can see that over here, webhook is created. We're going to copy this webhook from here. And in the workflow that we have created, I'm going to paste the webhook right over here. I'm going to close the forum right over here. So this is the chat webhook URL right over here. After providing the chat webhook URL, over here it is asking for the message. So for the message over here, we're going to write the message that we want to forward on the space that we have created in our Google Chat. For the message, I'm going to write it as, so this is the message that I want to send on my space that I've created in my Google Chat account. It says, completion of onboarding checklist documents. Hi team, I hope this message finds you well. I'm pleased to inform you that over here after that, I want to add the name of the new hired employee who's going to submit all the documents that are required for onboarding checklist. So over here, how are we going to add the name of the employee? For that, what we're going to do is we're going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from the previous step of this automation process. Over here you can see these were the previous steps of this automation process, that was Google Forms and filter that we have in this workflow that we have created right over here. And with the help of these previous steps, we're going to map the data by click on this arrow right over here. Over here you can see the response of the previous step is given right over here. As you want the data for the new hired employee right over here, so I'm going to add the name of my new hired employee right over here. As I map the data right over here, the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically in place of this map data right over here, the new data is going to be updated. Afterwards it says a newly hired team member has successfully completed the onboarding process and has submitted all the required documents outlined in the onboarding checklist. This includes all the required paperwork and any other documentation needed to integrate smoothly into our team and begin contributing efficiently to our projects. Please join me welcoming. Next to welcoming, I'm going to map the data of my new hired employee again. So I'm going to map the data of my new hired employee name right over here. Please join me welcome dummy user 123 aboard and ensuring they feel supported as they have embarked on this journey with us. Thank you for your cooperation. Best regards, HR team. So this is the message that I want to send to my space that I've created in my Google Chat account. So this is a message. After filling all the details and the message right over here, I'm going to click on save and send test request. As you can see right over here, we have received a response after click on save and send test request, and the response that we have received is a positive response. Now I'm going to open the space that I've created in my Google Chat account and I'm going to check whether I have received a new message that we have right over here or not. For that, I'm going to open the space that we have created in our Google Chat account. I'm going to go back. And yes, as you can see right over here, we have received a new message in our space that we have created with the help of Google Chat. This is the message that says completion of onboarding checklist documents. It has the name of the employee who has done the form submission right over here and right over here. So this means that we successfully created an automation between Google Forms and Google Chat with the help of Pabbly Connect. But now for all of you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another form submission for the onboarding checklist, and I'm going to check whether a new message is forwarded on the space that we have created in our Google Chat account or not. For that, I'm going to do another form submission. For that, I'm going to open the form that I've created. As you can see, this is the form that I've created right over here, and we're going to do a test submission of this form. For that, we have to click on send right over here. Click on this link right over here. We're going to copy this link from here, and then we're going to paste the link in a new tab, and we're going to open the link right over here. As you can see, this is the form that I've created. I'm going to fill in all the details. So as you can see that I've filled in all the details for the name as testaccount12345, for the email as testaccount12345@pabblytunes.com, for the phone number, dummy mobile number, for the job title as general manager. For the documents over here, we have provided the Aadhaar card, PAN card, driver's license, 12th mark sheet, 10th mark sheet, and the graduation certificate. After filling all the details, we're going to click on submit to submit the form. As you can see that the form submission is done successfully. So now I'm going to open the space that we have created in our Google Chat as we have submitted all the documents that onboarding checklist was asking for. I'm going to open my space that I've created in my Google Chat, and I'm going to check whether I have received a new message or not in the space that we have created. For that, I'm going to open my Google Chat account, and yes, as you can see right over here, we have received a new message in our space that we have created in our Google Chat. It says completion of onboarding checklist documents. This is the message right over here, and it has the details of the employee who have done the submission. For the name as testaccount12345, over here you can see it says testaccount12345. So this means that we successfully created an automation between Google Forms and Google Chats with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, here my objective is that I am collecting onboarding checklist documents from all of my new hired employees with the help of form submission, and I have created a form with the help of Google Forms. I want that whenever a new form submission is going to be done with the help of Google Forms by any of my new hired employees, automatically message should be forwarded on the space that we have created in our Google Chat account whenever we are going to receive all the documents that are required while onboarding checklist. Then only a message should be forwarded on the space that we have created in our Google Chat. For that, we have created an automation between Google Forms and Google Chat with the help of Pabbly Connect, and this is how we create an automation between these applications. So if you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video. Not just with these applications, you can create automation with the help of Pabbly Connect between multiple applications. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask your queries on forum.pabbly.com. If you have any queries regarding the pricing of Pabbly Connect, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions and doubts, and please share this video, and thank you for watching.